Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Today at the Races on the 6th day of August here at the Laurel Park. Tim Tulloch alongside Equibase chart caller and the man with the morning line, Keith Fustel.
Okay.
Look, interesting day yesterday. It was
Yeah.
a fun day while it lasted. We almost got the whole card in.
That was some crazy
crazy.
weather
When
we
it-
saw here. I'm glad you guys got in. It was the right call because I tell you, about 15 minutes after we said, hey, we're done, no mas. I've never seen really lightning strikes hit in this area like they did. The line of lightning strikes and the wind kicked up and the rain. So hopefully everybody made it through safe and sound. But, yeah, we had to err on the serious
there was
safety
no
there.
doubt. There was no
I
doubt.
didn't
And
want to
you
see
were
anybody
upstairs.
caught up in that. Yeah,
you watched the whole thing roll in.
Yeah. We saw it coming, and then all of a sudden it just
Yeah.
all heck broke loose, I guess is what you want to say.
Right, it was an amazing storm that came through here late yesterday afternoon. We did lose 2 races,
Yeah.
but we got 7 of the 9
we
in
did.
against adverse conditions. But we got them in, and I can guarantee you, there's 7 happy winners from yesterday afternoon as far as the horses are concerned. Today we've got a nice card on tap for you. It includes 2 stakes, the Bald Eagle and the Searching. Both those races stayed together very, very well. They were off the turf, but they stayed together well. But coming up here at Laurel Park over the next couple of weeks, we do have the Family Day at Laurel Park, the Food Truck Festival. That's a Saturday, August 20th. Free admission, 12 to 6 all afternoon. Go to laurelpark.com and get more information. And then we head on up the road to our favorite place, Keith.
Yes, the Big
It's the
T.
Big T.
Big T, we're ready. Going to get started Friday, August 26th. Wrap things up on Labor Day. 7 exciting days of racing. The condition book is out. If you need to get that, get on it. And, I've kind of cut my teeth there going way back, as a 5, 6, 7 years old going out to the races with the family. Love it. It'll be a live crowd. They've done a lot of good things there at Timonium within the whole facility as well. We've got that great OTB parlor, the restaurant, you name it. So lots going on. We're all set, looking forward to the big Timonium meet coming up Friday, August 26th.
And then once Timonium's over, we go old school, Keith. We go back to Pimlico for our fall meet. We traditionally used to have a fall meet at Pimlico all the time, but we're going back there September 9th through September 25th. So a nice fall meet at Pimlico. We're going to look forward to that.
I like the change up. I like to change the scenery here every few months, somewhere to go. But yeah, back at Pimlico, I used to love that fall meet. We used to run the Maryland Million there, right?
We did.
For quite a few years. So yeah, that should be good. I think what are we going for 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, Sundays?
I think we run 4.
Are we going to go 4?
I think we go 4, but I have to check.
Okay. All right.
But we'll get that information out to you. That condition book will be out momentarily. For the Pimlico Fall. Let's talk about today. It's a nice day out, little overcast. The breeze is blowing. The track is fast. We are off the turf. We're about, I don't know, 0 temperature according to our graphics here, so we're not going to worry about it. I can tell you this. I can guarantee you this. It ain't 0. It's a nice probably mid-70s, upper 70s as we move on to today's card.
Now. Yep.
Let's get going.
All right,
Race
let's
1 kicks off the early pick 5, mandatory payout in the early pick 5, and this is for 3-year-olds and up, which have started for a claiming price of $20,000 or less in their last 3 starts, or claiming price $30,000, going 3/4 of a mile. Keith, you have the 5 fast breaking cash on top for Jamie Ness. Comes in here off a decent race at the Parks where he only got beat to 2.5 lengths. This would be 3rd off of a layoff for Jamie Ness, and really 3rd off of the claim.
Jamie had a good second right on the turf yesterday. Just trying to guess a little bit. Some of these, claiming trainers, we're not going to name names, but, they need to heat up. And you're guessing, when they're going to heat up. Ness, Farrier, they know. Unfortunately, it's the trend of this game. But fast breaking cash intrigues me. 3rd off of a break. This has been a very good move, consistent for Ness. Last 2 years, 10 for 33, 30%, with 3rd off of a 60 to 180-day layoff. I think you're going to see Barbosa get really aggressive from the gate. This horse battled against some pretty good horses on the front end, just to fade ever so slightly. I think he stays around, determined run, kind of like Cobble Road yesterday, who came in off of that park surface. Really determined effort, battled back between horses to get the lead.
That was a huge effort.
It was. We got a little price there. It was down. It was 9-1 leaving the gate. Got hammered late down to 5. But yeah, let's hope Fast Breaking Cash goes to the front. I think he's going to have to stave off Jimmy the Kid, who I like. We've got a little video of Jimmy the Kid's last race.
We do. We'll go to that here in one second. But let's go back to Fast Breaking Cash real quick. He's coming out of a 2 out of the end up there at Parks. Here we go with Jimmy the Kid.
And back to a starter for Fast Breaking Cash.
Yes.
Right, a little bit of class release. But Jimmy the Kid, good speed, good gate speed right here. And I thought this was a good move. Ended up working out for a win. Alvelo astutely just kind of took back and let the pace go. A little battle develop. And just a rebid here from between horses. Jimmy the Kid catches and wears down Free Dancer through the last eighth of a mile. Free Dancer was on a roll leading into this race. It won 3 straight at Delaware. Good, consistent numbers. Jimmy the Kid can bring this back for Adolfo Sanchez-Salomon, who holds, I still think, a slim lead over Claudio in the trainer standing. So there you go. Jimmy the Kid to kind of prompt the pace today of Fast Breaking Cash.
Yeah, that was a life best race that you just saw there. I have the 2 Soaring Bird on top for William Walden. Javier Toledo returns with the call. Winner of 2 in a row. First off the claim in his last start here for Mr. Walden. That was going 7/8 of a mile.
Yeah.
His life best races are going 3/4 of a mile. If he can run back to any of those figures going 3/4 of a mile, he'll be tough.
He's just fine at 3/4. I believe he's going to be the favorite in that 9-5, 8-5 range. Had a very good setup last time. That duel developed early, was able to kind of benefit off of that roll bias. But this is a consistent horse for a barn that hasn't run a lot so far, but looks like the barn's going to do quite well here heading into the future.
That's where race 1 kicks off the early pick 5 as we move to race 2, which starts the early pick 4.
Yeah.
And Keith, you put together a ticket. Let's check it out.
We're knocking around. Sooner or later,
sooner
the
or
door's
later.
going to go down. But we're still doing quite well all in all. 7-13 to get you started. Calipari and the 13 Eye in the Deal. We got lots of scratches in the second. Unfortunately, we'll talk about those. Race 3 we spread 2, 3, 5, and 7. 2-year-olds, maiden claiming 45 down to 36,000, going 6 furlongs. Only one scratch out of the 6 RBs, the Boss. I got to spread a little bit. Top selection going to be Gary Cap in there. Race 4, 4 and a 5. Breviary Fool Yourself. They look like the 2 in there. Then we go a little spread again. Race 5, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Not sold on the morning line. The 1, the 2, and the 4. I think we might have a little bit of a price in there in race number 5. There's your ticket, 32. A little bit more than I like to spend, but I think you might have to spend a little bit to get
it looks like it's going to be one of those days. No doubt. I spread a little bit on my Rainbow Pick 6, spent a little bit more money on it than I like to. Race 2 is for a maiden, 3, 4, 5-year-olds going mile 16th on the turf. Maiden claiming price $45,000. Now, we do have a bunch of scratches in here, but it still holds together with an 8-horse field. But take out the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 8, and to the outside, the 12 and the 16.
Yep.
We have 3 main track onlys that draw in. Yep. So this race is still a very, very interesting race. I was back and forth between the 13 and the 10. I end up landing on the 10. You land on the 13. Eye in a Deal for Claudio Gonzalez. Boy, we saw this show yesterday. First time on the main track for Claudio and won America yesterday in the opener. That's what's going to happen today. But this one comes first off the claim for Claudio getting to the main track.
Now be quick. Now we got a big card. But Eye in a Deal first off the claim. A little bump up. I like that. I think they got what they wanted. It's first time blinkers on the dirt. I love the short comment we gave this horse last time. Eager early and rallied. Ratcheted down to make that run. There's not a ton of speed in here. All systems go towards the outside with Eye in a Deal.
I have the 10 Wonder Water on top. Make the rider Forrest Boyce on the 10 Wonder Water for Ricky Sillerman. He's looking for his first win of the summer meet, but this is one who's been in very, very good form over his last 4 races, including 2 good main track tries here in May and in June. So I'm going to give Wonder Water a little shot in race 2. As we move to race number 3, this is for maiden 2-year-olds. This is a nice little race. This is a maiden claiming event. Maiden 45 down to 36, going 3/4 of a mile. But I found this race very, very interesting with a couple Rob runners, and of course Cal Lynch's runner. And we're going to start with your top pick, and this is the 7. Take a hint for Gary Capuano. Angel Cruz gets the call. Look, been working lights out in the morning, no doubt about that.
Yeah, Cruz named on a couple other horses here. He goes here. Take a hint. Gary Cap, we think second out for Gary Cap. But, when he gets these quality 2-year-olds ready to roll, they show it. They show it early, and they keep showing it. Take a hint. By Bandbox, boy, if the track was going to stay wet, it was really going to boost up my confidence level. But overall, 19% with the first-time starters. This mare was all right, 7 for 16. I have to return the Ring, who did win debut, was kind of an allowance type. The horse come down from New York. Best Kind of Trouble, another pretty good runner. Topped at a 78, allowance type of run. These works look really good, and comparatively, I looked at that most recent work on the 30th of July. 2/5 faster than Rominsky for Claudio. Very fast horse. So I think Take a Hint is going to be one to look at. Tab the tote, but I like that Cruz goes here. Tough jockey trainer combination. When Cruz goes with Gary Cap, they strike pretty strong.
And that's a big work here at Laurel Park, especially for a 2-year-old. The best of 21 works. That's a really, really big work. I have the 2, Noah Chance on top, first-time starter for Jerry Robb. He hits it about 34% of the time. This one's been working with his stablemate, the 5 Dowsing Rod, but I went here. Xavier Perez gets the call. I really like that most recent gate work. Going to have to get away, like all these first-time starters, but it looks good to me. We have to talk about the 3, Box and Ben. This is a horse who has experience. Let's check out his race from July 1st right here at the Laurel Park. This was a good-looking effort here, Keith, the 3, Box and Ben for Cal Lynch, and he ran a good figure that day also.
Yeah, money showed up for the Russell Firster. Heldish at 4 to 5, did not disappoint, but can't really take anything away from the effort. This is a good run from Box and Ben, first time out. Tracks the pace, going honest fractions, 22 and 446 in a tick. Tries to go up and engage, almost draws alongside, but it gets denied, but it really keeps on well to the wire. A little left lead there, switching over here to the correct lead at the 8th pole. Lynch, he's strong year in and year out with the 2-year-olds. He's 4 for 13, 7 for 13 in the money with these 2-year-old maidens making their second start over the last few years with a positive ROI. So, Boxman, the experience is certainly going to boost those chances today.
Going to be the experience goes a very, very long way. That was a pretty professional debut. A little late in his lead change, but no big shake. He did do a very interesting race 3, a maiden 2-year-old event.
Okay.
Race 4 does come off the turf. It's a 2 other than. It will go a mile on the main track, and we'll go over this one pretty quick. It did unfortunately scratch down to a 4-horse field, but we'll talk about the 5 to get us started. This is Fool Yourself for Claudio Gonzalez, Angel Cruz. Coming out of a 2 other than at Monmouth, where he just got beat a nose and ran a lifetime best fig. He looks tough here.
Yeah, has raced herself back into top shape. Looks to be even better here at 4. Double Fireball may go ahead and try to go, but I think Fool Yourself has enough tactical speed to kind of keep her in reach. She'll get the jump on Breviary, but Breviary can bring a pretty strong kick. I'm torn between the 5 and the 4, slight lean to the 5, but those are my top 2 I'm keying around in race number 4.
Yeah, 5-4 for both Keith and myself here in the race 4 at Laurel Park. As we move to race 5, this kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6. We have a carryover from yesterday, $21,934. I put together a ticket. I had to spend a little bit more money today than I wanted to, and I'm still not sure if I have it all covered with some of these races. Pretty tricky. I go 2-4-7 in race 5, 7/8 a mile event. In race 6, I use the 2, the 8, and the 9. Race 7, which is the first of our 2 stakes. It comes off the turf. It stays together with a nice field. I had to really spread here because there's just so many unknowns. These fillies, these guys are game today. They're looking for some black type for these fillies. They're going to keep them on the main track. I go 2, 3, 9, and 10. Race 8. I go 2, 3, 4, race 9, the second of our 2 stakes, a mile and 3/16 on the main track. I use the 3, the 4, and the 7, and then I single in race 10 on the 5, Uncle Jerome Barbosa, Claudio Gonzalez, $64 and 80-cent ticket. Good luck if you play along in the Rainbow Pick 6.
Yep.
Race 5, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2, going 7/8 of a mile. The 6 is Uncommon Valor for Jose Corrales. Mr. Rodriguez gets the call. This is your top pick, third off of a layoff this afternoon. And, look, it was running a couple decent races before the break.
You get this with Corrales. It's a guess.
Yeah,
it's a guess with him because when they pop big.
Yep.
And Uncommon Valor with a major excuse last time, second off of a little break. I think I'm going to toss that. He's teamed up with Rodriguez, his 10-pound bug, for some horses have run big at big prices. Uncommon Valor has enough positional speed against this group to stay within range at the 3/8 pole. Nobody, I think, is going to blaze away in here. Maybe I'm Not Slow with Acosta is going to try to take advantage of a kind of a paceless race. But Uncommon Valor has that kick, and he's shown it consistently a few times in the past to make that one snappy run. I think he's going to do it against this group and get there at an okay price.
Yeah, I mean, Jose, he's like a box of chocolates.
Yes, he is.
It's not even a box of chocolates. At least when you're a box of chocolate, you're going to get some kind of chocolate. Honestly, you just never know. And you're right. I mean, you got to go with him from time to time because he's going to pop at a good price.
Out of nowhere, you go back on the page. I know we're going back to January. Just blows the doors off of Image Maker, who came back to win and just ran a good third here yesterday against much better.
I'm with you.
So the talent's there with this guy. Maybe it shines today, third off the break.
Yeah, we're both reaching here. I'm going to go with the 7 Amicalola Falls, 6-1 in the line for Carlos Mancia. He's my price play of the day. Gets back to a fast racetrack today, going 6.5 furlongs and 7/8 of a mile. He's been okay. And with no one else I was totally in love with in this race, just like you, I'm going to take a little bit of a shot with good figures going 6.5 and 7 for this particular group. I agree with you. I'm Not Slow might be going to the front for sure.
Yep, going to try. I think so, and held pretty well last time. Battled back for a second. I'll give you one more little value shot in there. Disputed Notion. Carlin Tapscott, owner and train, 15-1 on the line. Will stay a big price. Very rarely gets play. I mean, had a couple races back, took somebody, but comes out of races where the internals were 22-2, 45-4, 23-46. Quicker races early. Again, hedges back, a couple improvements in the buyers for the last couple races. Has a 63 on the page. What's going to win this race?
Yeah,
a
that's
55
a 1-turn mile
to a 60. So, that relates to the 7/8 race. So.
Absolutely. That 1-turn mile from January 30th, 63, lifetime best.
I think that horse is going to be up near the pace a long way.
And then Dolce Vita for Dale Capuano, 5-2 on the line. Look, interesting, but has a history of not getting away from the gate and needs to get away this afternoon.
Right.
We need to take a quick break here on Today at the Races. We'll be right back. We'll talk about the late pick 5.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
Welcome back to Today at the Races. Race 6 kicks off the late to pick 5. This is a maiden event, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds going 5.5 furlongs. Maiden claiming price $12,500. We're going to go to the outside and start with the 8. This for John Robb. Both you and I have this one on top. Just missed while dropping to this level in his last start, but you don't have to go too far back on the page and see good races, good figures against tougher.
No, and it was well clear of a next out winner. Dr. Rice got it done on the turf. It happened to just catch a horse, Bomboloni, who encountered all kinds of trouble, but was like a freak show that day. Was able to kind of surge and get up after all of that trouble. Blitz, this is going to get set sail. Might take some pressure from Slow Gin Biz. I think the other Rob horse, Big Daddy DR, they don't want to duel themselves into submission. Maybe that one sets up shop stalking second or third as well to make that move into it. The 2, Drum and Bass, everything depends on the break. Horses flashed a little talent, was against the grain. A couple races at Pimlico, a couple races ago. Might run into it late. Could win this, but has to get away from the gate better.
Absolutely. The break is everything. It's going to be the everything for Drum and Bass. Anthony got off the side a little bit yesterday with a win in the 7th with password protected and Toledo. Race 7 is the first of our 2 stakes this afternoon. This is a searching, going a mile and a 6. No, excuse me. This is going to be run at a flat mile on the main track, one-turn mile on the main track. We're off the turf, and we're going to start with the 5 Ocean Safari for Gilberto Zerpa. Daniel Citino has a call now. I guess he's coming in from Delaware somewhere later in the afternoon. I didn't get a rider change, but he's not riding early here.
Yeah.
Look, this one's never been on the main track in a race. Works well on the main track. Certainly has some figures of work and first-time Lasix.
We talked about race 7. It stays together pretty
it
well.
does.
We've still got an 8-horse field, and it's a reach because nobody's really proven with dirt form in here. I just did a little bit of digging. One, the first Lasix catches my eye. I like that. Second, the work. You talked about the work. A bullet at Monmouth out of the gate. Positional speed. Have to access to Charlie, who could carry the speed a little bit longer on the main track. That's enough for me. They're staying in. Okay, that's my selection. I can't give you a whole lot else in this race. This is a little bit of quite a guessing game, I should say, in race 7.
I went 4 deep. In my Rainbow Pick 6. Actually, honestly, it might be a more interesting race because of the unknowns on the main track than it was on the turf. I ended up on the 9 Pharaohs song. I mean, I really like American Pharaohs a little bit better on the turf. This one would be on the main track for the first time as your top pick. But look, she works well on the main track. She has works at Churchill Downs that are good, works that will work here. Also, she's consistent. She's shown up in all 3 of her turf races, so she likes the game enough, so maybe it really won't matter to her. She's out of an unbridled song mare. And then Lady Poochie down toward the rail, Kenny McPeak. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, the only try on the dirt, you're going way back, was a sprint without Lasix as a 2-year-old. So a little bit of guessing, good number last time on the turf. Will it transfer? We shall see. I think this horse should be somewhere within range by the top of the stretch. The 7, 2 big tries with Lasix of note. Going back to that race in February, look at those internals the horse had to battle into, 22.45. Another one that I think is sneaky good. Frosteds can win on the dirt. Bottom side, Union Rags can certainly handle the dirt and might take the speed and try to go right to the front, because that was I can see that horse getting toasted into those fractions first on that dirt sprint. So, 5.7, 5.9, 7.2. And you talk about that. Motion had 3 in. He keeps this one. I really like Sparkle Blue. That was going to be my pick. I had a bunch of good notes, but that one comes out. So if I really liked her and he keeps the 9 in, maybe that's a tell.
Well, that could be a tell. See. We have to welcome Mr. Terrell Brooks back here to Maryland. He's got the 2 Music Amore making the switch from synthetic to the main track today. A decent figure in his last start at a first-level allowance condition. Very interesting, searching $100,000 that comes off the turf. We will run it at a 1-turn mile. Race 2 is a 2 other than 5.5 furlongs for fillies and mares on the main track. The 4 is a Moody Woman. Both you and I have this one on top. Look, this one's been in good form all year long. She shows up every time she's led over here. Lifetime best going 5.5 furlongs when she won her a other than.
Yeah, I just think there's going to be the right setup in here. I think you got a couple horses are going to see. There's not a slew of speed. Let's go. Response time, Paisley slinging, even swaying to and fro. Make that move into it with My Girl. Moody Woman is proven. I give a pass to the 2 back race. Just found herself way too back. Maybe it's just settled and just like, all right, when are you going to get going? Got going way too late. Back with Ruiz. Moody Woman will strike in from somewhere 3 or 4 out of it mid-turn. This horse will make the run.
That's his deal. Hey, look, response time, I can make an excuse for her last 3 races. On the turf, sloppy and muddy. She's getting back to a fast racetrack for the first time since January, where she won 3 in a row in that stint, laid close to the lead, and kept on coming. Swaying 2 to fro. The favorite, 2-1. Morning line favorite.
Yeah.
Pretty chalky.
Yeah.
Looking for 5 in a row today.
Looking for 5 in a row. Was only correctly last time. A little bit more professional win visually, okay? Last time out, shortened back up to 5.5. Space is going to be a little bit more honest. She's probably got the kick to make the run of it. I'm intrigued. I'm going to try to beat her. I'm going to go 1-2-4 and see what we can go in here. Moody Woman to kind of move from off it. Response time has shown talent to me.
She has.
And cranked up here for Hammy. Paisley Singh, another one, kind of dropping in condition. She's faced some real heavy heads. She cannot be left out of the exacta. I don't think so. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, she's interesting. I mean, she can show up. I mean, there's no doubt about that, having to break from the fence this afternoon. Very interesting.
Okay.
Race 8. We move to race 9. This is the Bald Eagle Derby, $100,000. This is being moved to the main track and will be run at 1 mile and 3/16 on the main track this afternoon. Look, we both are pretty similar here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Let's start with the 4 and the 3. The 4, Speaking Scout, and the 3, Tommy B. And let's go to the video, and we're going to look at their race from Delaware. This is the Kent Stakes, a grade 3 event up there at Delaware Park.
And Speaking Scout had the worst of this. Tommy B was kind of able to work a trip out, get out in the clear. But let's watch Speaking Scout at the back of the pack. I'm sorry, the one at the back of the pack. Just nowhere to go. Nowhere to go from about the 3/8, coming to the 8th. Still nowhere to go. Tommy B is in full flight. Plenty of run, right? Yep. Has complete momentum advantage. Finally, Speaking Scout gets out here about the 8th pole. And look at this close late. Definitely going a little bit quicker, in my opinion. Making up the ground. Spotted Tommy B some lengths. We're going to the dirt. I know that was the turf. Speaking Spout, and you go back to the race at Keeneland, it was all right.
It was all right.
As a 2-year-old. Viver came back to run a pretty good run in the Smarty Jones, only beating a couple lengths. I think this horse is going to relish the distance. It's going to be fine Mac on the main track to make a steady progression into it.
Tommy B for Brad Cox. Brad Cox is always very, very tough. This one has a good race this year on the main track at the fairgrounds. It was a short field, 5-horse field, but he got the job done pretty easily and fired a decent number in a 77. Here's another one that, and just like Tommy B, these horses have no problem working on the main track. They put down good works on the main track for sure. I do have the 7 Undercover Kitty on top of 4 Cal Lynch coming in, probably softer races than these other guys, but boy, fired a couple good figures back-to-back 85 Beyer speed figures.
Yeah, kind of serious advantage in the Beyer fig category when you're comparing dirt numbers. So this horse kind of leaps off the page from that. But, right, a little suspect. Who did he beat? He's going to have a little bit more class involved here today. But I think you'll see from the outside, Caramano's putting his horse up to the front, trying to control things up front. Cloud Play might try to go and press. But, yeah, I'm going to key around the 4 in here. I think he's going to be okay to make a run into it.
That's the Bald Eagle Stakes, and mile and 3/16 on the main track.
Motion doing pretty good. There's a little stat of late. The last month at Laurel, 5 for 8. 7 for 8 in the money with an ROI of over $4.
Graham, always consistent, Mr. Motion. Let's move to race 10, going a mile, claiming 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. $25,000 is the claiming price. We'll start with our top pick, Uncle Jerome for Claudio Gonzalez. J-Ron Barbosa gets the call. Last 2 races have been just okay, but he hooked racetracks with moisture. 3 back going a mile right here. Laurel was a big effort. If he could duplicate that, he goes straight to the winner's circle.
Got aggressive early, was able to drift and hold sway at the distance. Speed to this inside, what say you, is pretty quick, but I think Uncle Jerome will hound him, be able to separate. Now we'll have to look in the rearview mirror. Can he hold off a horse like Crown Crisco, Speak Unity? We'll see. Gallant Gold, I like him a little bit more sprinting, but he is first-time gelding as well. So, but I'm right with you there.
Yeah, Jamie Ness takes out the 1. BB Bad, part of the entry. The 1A does a run in our nightcap. That's going to do it for our 10-race card this afternoon. Before we go, Keith, let's check in on your best bets and your value plays of the day. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, let's go. Best bet, Moody Woman. Hopefully this will get a little bit of a pace battle up front. It doesn't have to be terribly demanding. I think the jock just has to keep this one in range, somewhere within a couple lengths by the 3/8 poles. Shift out and come. Rolling value play, we talked a little bit about, expand on Uncommon Valor. A little bit of a guess here. If this horse shows up, I think he's going to show up in a big kind of way. You should get 5 to 8 to 1 on this Corrales runner because he's popped with a couple bombs here of late.
All right, that does our card today at Laurel Park. We have 2 stakes, 2 $100,000 stakes, searching and the Bald Eagle, both very, very interesting races. Hope you join us this afternoon. Dave Rodman will be up next with Scratches and Changes.
All right, everybody, good luck.